What if Harry Potter, just wanted to say Potter like that once. What if Harry Potter had the power of, you can see him, kakuzu? Now, during one of the days where Harry was allowed out of his cupboard, he actually went to a store. He felt a weird pull towards it. What could possibly be in there, he says. He gets curious and decides to look in, but then he saw that everything was being packed up into boxes. He asked one of the people that, no one's been buying anything from here for a while, so if you want anything, just take it, he said. But then he saw something weird, a book that was called The Tales of Kakuzu, as well as a weird scroll saying belonged to Kakuzu. Yep, I'm doing this and you can't stop me. Harry asked, can I have those? Sure. No one's ever wanted those, so I don't care, kid. Now, Harry still had about 5 minutes before he had to get back to the Dursleys. Oh, and let me look up something real quick. Harry was 8 years old, so yeah. Harry decided to read a bit about the thing that says Tales of Kakuzu. In the book, it talked about how he was betrayed and a technique that he developed called Earth Grudge Fear. It went on to tell what it could do, all of its abilities, and how he was so strong. When it reached the 4-minute mark, Harry realized that he had to get back to the Dursleys fast. So he started to run there. Now, as he was getting there, he remembered the scroll and grabbed it, making sure to hide it in one of the big pockets he has because all of his clothes were hand-me-downs from Dudley. Now, give me a sec. Now, when he got there, he heard his Uncle Vernon say, "Where have you been? You are 5 seconds past." But it was only, "I don't care, getting your stupid cupboard and no dinner." Harry didn't say anything, just went back in the cupboard. Now, when he went in the cupboard, he heard it lock. He actually had a flashlight so he could read, because, well, just because I say so. Now, Harry started to read, and he found it was actually a pretty interesting thing. He liked how the story talked about how powerful Kakuzu was, how powerful he was, how he got all those cool things. But what interested Harry the most was his abilities. That would be cool if I could do that, he thinks. Now when he went to that scroll, he thinks, wonder what could be in here. As he was tired, so he said, I'm just gonna find out tomorrow. Now, some may think that, this is where it'll pick up the next day. Nope, there's still more for this. Now, even though Harry was asleep, if you actually read the book, you found out that his Uncle Petunia kept trying to give him haircuts, which never went well because the next day it went back to normal. Now, One thing I will say is that it was because of his magic that he unknowingly used that he was able to do that. And because of that magic, he was able to, because of his magic unknowingly going into the skull, small iron threads start to leave the book and enter Harry's body. It was painless, so Harry didn't wake up. The next day, now when Harry woke up in his cupboard, it was to his Uncle Vernon banging on the door saying, "Get up! You have food to make." He was getting tired of this. Like, why couldn't he just be treated like normal? What did he ever do to be treated like this, he thinks. Whatever, he says to himself. As he leaves the cupboard and starts doing chores like making everyone but himself food, as well as cleaning the dishes, looking at the garden, and a few other things. But when Harry was surprised about a squirrel that popped up out of nowhere, he thinks, an iron thread actually pierced the squirrel. It seemed like it came out of his shoulder, no, his elbow. He didn't say anything because he thought, that couldn't be right. That's not possible. It was only a book. Now, Harry remembered the scroll that he didn't get to read last night because he was too tired. When he went to it later that day, he found out that it was indeed, I think you and I both know, that it was indeed a scroll containing the words, "Technique of the Heart, Grudge, Fear." Harry's eyes widened as he said, This was the technique that he used. Wait, so that means Harry got a smirk on his face. That those were real things he could do. As it looked like it looked like the words blood seal was on a word and a weird symbol was on it. Harry doesn't see a reason not to, so he decides to open it, to slightly cut his hand, just enough for a bit of blood to get out. Now, when Harry was done with that, he saw that multiple black threads were going towards his body. He didn't even have a chance to scream before he was entirely covered by that. Next thing he knew, he passed out, and when he came to consciousness, he found himself covered with lines, like he was cut up and stitched back together.